That's right, we've got you covered from OKC to Indy. Looking forward to previewing tonight's big game coming up in just a few minutes. Good afternoon, great to have you with us at 4 o'clock. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence. Thank you for joining us, and we've got so much ahead this hour.
That's right, including the chilling new details we've just learned about the suspect accused of targeting Minnesota lawmakers in a shooting spree over the weekend. That's also ahead in just a few minutes. But we begin with the fallout from a viral video involving Indianapolis Metro police officers working downtown over the weekend.
So the police chief is actually responding to that video today, and he sat down with our Emily Longnecker, and Emily's here. So let's start with that video, and what does it appear to show?
Well, what it shows is what Chief Bailey says is police using something called a high pressure air launcher. And according to IMPD, it shoots out a chemical irritant. Chief Bailey told me it's a specialty tool and it is used for crowd control. In order for an officer to carry this device, they first go through specialized training with it. And in this case, the officers you see in the video were with IMPD's event response group. Now, Chief Bailey says he's seen at least 2 videos of the incident and believes there's a third video out there. As part of the department's investigation, Chief Bailey says IMPD is getting video from all over downtown. 13 News has obtained video with 2 different angles of the same incident. This video starts with 2 men saying something to each other. And then police say the 2 men were getting physical and a crowd was starting to form. And you see one of the men walking away and coming face to face with an IMPD officer. We're looking at some of this video right now. The officer pushes the man, and police say the officer was trying to create space. And you then see the man hit the officer's hand, and that's when the officer pulls out a device and shoots the man 3 times with what police say was a high pressure air launcher that contained a chemical irritant. Now, the man doesn't seem to be fazed in the moment by the impact, but when he tries to leave, that same officer gets him on the ground after a struggle. In a second video taken from a different angle, you can see the moment when another IMPD officer steps in. One of them hits the man 3 times after he's on the ground. And in a statement released by IMPD about the incident, IMPD says that second officer was trying to get control of the man's hands to get him to comply. Chief Bailey says investigators are still gathering information about what led up to the events and what followed, but says this incident happened just as the bars were letting out in downtown early Sunday morning. Chief Bailey says the officers involved are not on leave at this point.
I understand what the concern is with this video, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I promise you that. I'm not afraid of accountability. I'm also not afraid of defending my officers when they do it the right way.
Now, as Chief Bailey says, they'll also be reviewing IMPD's policy of using less lethal force to see if officers followed it. And as far as releasing any of that officer-worn body camera video, don't look for that just yet. Chief Bailey says you won't see that video released if there are charges involved in this incident. Coming up tonight at 5, we're going to hear from the man you see in that video, the man that was arrested. His name is Devin Hunt, and he will share his perspective about what he says happened and what you see in that video.
All right, look forward to the update coming up at 5 o'clock. Emily, thank you.
A 15-year-old from Jennings County made his initial court appearance today on charges he raped a 7-year-old boy.
Investigators say it happened multiple times on a school bus. Landon Doty appeared in adult court as the judge read the charges against him today. They include rape, child molesting, and sexual battery. The alleged victim is autistic and nonverbal, sat next to Doty on the school bus. The prosecutor says there were, quote, hundreds of incidents of inappropriate touching and other conduct by Doty against the boy, allegedly captured on school bus security video that was reviewed from February through April. Doty is now behind bars at the Jennings County Jail. His cash bond set at $25,000. His jury trial scheduled for October 20th.
In northern Indiana, police are asking for the public's help to solve a mass shooting that left 1 person dead and 11 others injured. It happened in Elkhart early yesterday morning, and the crime scene was just huge. It covered about 2 entire city blocks. So we've learned the man who died was 30-year-old Devell Osby. On the 11 who were hurt, 8 have been treated and released from area hospitals. A neighbor says it was a calm, quiet night until he heard the gunshots.
Everything was calm until like 1:12, 1:11. I just hear one shot. I was right there in my porch just watching and enjoying the night. And then we just hear one shot. And after that, it passed like 2 or 3 seconds when we hear like 7 shots with like automatic, and then after that it was just a chaos.
It was just chaos, that's what he said. Investigators believe there were multiple shooters involved. They are asking anyone who may have video surveillance or ring camera footage to call the Elkhart Police Homicide Unit. And police in Evansville say one person is dead and several others injured after a shooting there. It happened yesterday at a large house party. They say as people were leaving around 12:30, that's when someone started shooting. Now, besides those hit by gunfire, investigators say another person was hurt after being hit by a car. Witnesses told investigators there was more than one shooter. So far, though, no arrests.
We are also learning more today about a program designed to help at-risk students graduate and succeed after high school. It took a big budget hit from lawmakers.
And that funding cut means thousands of young Hoosiers will not be able to take part. Jenny Runovich is looking into the JAG program, that's what it's called, and the consequences without state and federal money, the JAG program.
Yeah, pretty serious, guys. Basically, people who run this program in schools told me, bottom line, it'll look nothing like it once was. They call the cuts devastating for students and staff. So first, what is it? JAG stands for Jobs for America's Graduates. It's been in Indiana since 2006, and it has proven successful. A 97% graduation rate, higher than the state's average. It gets kids into the workforce, into college, or into the military. In fact, just in the last year or so, under Governor Holcomb, JAG programs doubled across the state from 125 to 250. More students learning public speaking, how to be a good citizen, how to handle money, get paid internships, and explore careers. Well, now the state is massively reducing funding for JAG. 75% of the program's budget gone. Federal funding proposed to be cut too. That's slashing programs statewide from 250 to just 30. Schools that had this opportunity for kids won't anymore.
And ultimately, this is a loss for the state of Indiana in terms of building a sustainable workforce for the future and making sure that these students, these young kids, have a career path and that they're able to go into the workforce immediately after high school or post-secondary or a combination of both.
Which of course is the goal of a lot of workforce development projects. Now, we talked with a JAG student late today at her paid internship at a library. She knows the benefit of this program. In fact, she just graduated high school last week, so coming up tonight at 5:30, we'll talk with her, talk about those benefits and how it got her into college and shaped her career goals. Meanwhile, I'm sure you're wondering, what about these other kids in the future?
Right.
Well, looks like they will have money for some JAG programs through December. After that, though, a lot of unknowns. I mean, 250 to 30, and that's an estimate, and that's through December.
And it makes you wonder, for a program that seems to be successful, right? A 97% graduation rate, why the cuts would be so drastic.
Yeah.
Well, and they said, you know, we're a data-driven program, and we're a data-driven state, and why weren't we given that priority? But basically, the bottom line was they kind of the state lawmakers put this into the education bucket, and there were only so many programs that the Department of Education could pay for, and this one got the cut.
Okay, yeah, thinking about the students there, it would feel the impact.
For sure.
Thank you. All right, let's get it over to Rob. He has some weather impact that we need to know about. Rob.
Yeah, we're not under the alert just yet, but looking down the road, it looks like we're going to see a chance for some stronger storms by midweek and really getting into some hot weather. In the meantime, the heat is building, the humidity is building, and you can tell the humidity is building because we have some rain that's moving in, at least enough moisture that we're able to squeeze out some raindrops. Some of the stronger downpours and even some storms are along the Kentucky line along the Ohio River. However, any storms that have been developing, I want to draw your attention maybe over here to Champaign, where we've been watching some of these showers develop, and they're just not moving very much. So anything that we could see develop farther to the east, maybe on the Indiana side, may be very slow to move, and that has a concern like we saw on Saturday, where we could get some very heavy rain in a short amount of time. In the meantime, things are pretty quiet. Temperatures are in the 70s, close to 80 degrees. Very muggy outside. These dew points near 70 degrees. That's when it feels like it's almost Florida weather. I think we'll leave that chance for a few showers and storms to pop up through the next couple of hours. Then we'll cool things down. But tonight, staying muggy. Chance of showers and storms. More showers and storms in the forecast. I'll talk about when we could see some severe weather in our forecast coming up.